Hello. I thought we'd work on a coding session today. Wait, can you move the microphone? Okay. Can you hear me? Music. There you go. Okay. I wanted the drop to come. Camera to the right. Okay. Wait. Let me say hi. Hey there. Ciao. I thought we'd do as it comes, as it goes, coding session to pinpoint 2 to 6 a.m. for our candle model so that we can trade it with great success. So, do I want to show you what maybe I'll show you what I want to do. That way, maybe I clarify to myself too. I'm looking at Nasdaq, what's going to happen in the next, 6 to 10 candle. I have some H4 candles here. And right now, I'm inclined to think we're going to push up above Asia high. So I have some alerts. And then expand to the downside and go to reach these accumulated levels. That seems we should get there. Hopefully today, possibly today. So my idea would be manipulation up and then dump. There's some news at 10, so that might be the catalyst. The thing is that this candle, the 4-hour candle here, ends at 10. So we need to see where is the next candle is going to do the move or the one after. Yeah, okay, well, I said we will program. So this is what I wanted to do, coding today. I have a chart that I've shown on Twitter many times. It might be hard to pull it up now because I don't want to open files and show you my desktop. But I have some a chart that goes like this. Let me see if I can draw it. So it goes like this: 2 to 6 a.m. There's 2 here, and there's 6 here. And I measured how many times does the minimum or maximum, so the high or the low, of the 4-hour candle 2 to 6. How many times is it at 2? How many times is it at 3? And every 5 minutes increments. And the chart comes out like this. I'm not kidding. It's like this. Okay, so the chart looks like this. You can see it, you can look at it on Twitter. So what it tells you is that the extreme of a 4-hour candle, they don't happen always at 2, they don't happen always at 3, but many times the high and low of the 4-hour candle before it reverses is either a 3 or a 2, and then it's to 10 to 20, blah 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 blah, until 2. Then there's 3. There's a big peak, so it's rarely at 240, but sometimes it's at 250, and then there's a lot of it at 3, 3.5, 3.10, and it goes down until at 6. You can't have a reversal at 6 because the candle is done. So there is some statistical evidence that the high or the low for the 2 to 6 a.m. I'm focusing on this and then I'll make it generic for every session. You have to understand that if I can do this for the 2 to 6 a.m. 4-hour candle, which is London session, I can do this for the open, 6 to 10, 10 to 14, basically the main sessions of New York. I haven't done them yet because I am doing a statistical analysis right now of 2 to 6. But the numbers I generate are also for the other sessions, so that we're clear about this. Ooh, look at this beauty. Okay. So now, together with this, I do have some levels, right? So I do have levels where a certain candle, well, I could use the drawings, but a certain candle, I measure the manipulation and the expansion. Look at this expansion, and I have these numbers, so in percentage compared to the previous candle. Okay, now the next study, and that's what I want to program today, is when the high and low happens at 2, how many times do we hit Q1? How many times we hit Q2, which is median? And how many times we hit Q3? For each 5-minute interval, and especially at 3, how many times we hit Q2? How many times we hit Q1? Only, that's the keyword. So is it statistically relevant that if we hit the median of the manipulation at 3, then there's a high chance that that is it? And what is it, the opposing bias? So my idea is to do the, how you call it, the antagonistic bias, which is, what if I'm wrong, and instead of being the high of the session and then we're going to close low, no, that's the candle expanding. The expansion, the actual manipulation happened at 2. So to do those tests, when are these level hit, what's the probability that your bias is correct? So this should so first, the initial chart is this. So the times where the high is at 3 or 3.5 or 3.10, what did we touch? Did we manage to touch Q1, median, and Q3? And we count how many times of all the occurrences. And I think this is already a pretty good indication. If you see that a lot of the times at 3 we hit the median, and you get to a point where at 3 you're below, above the Q3, then you can just drop the bearish bias, the bullish bias, or the bearish bias, right? Because statistically, that's not something that happens. Of course, everything happens. So there could be a reversal at 4:45, and those things happen. But it's at the tail end of a statistical distribution. In general, if you enter a trade at the right time, you will have success. I don't know if I was confusing you or not, but this is basically the chart I want, is a chart that goes like this, and then we build it. The chart goes like this. There's going to be a curve, Q1, and it's going to go. Then I want a curve, Q3, and it goes like this. I'm just making an hypothesis. And then I have a curve that is median manipulation. It goes like this. This is my hypothesis. Like this. So if I can have this on a chart, then we can say, hey, 3 a.m. Oh, we are at Q3. Bad bias. The actually bias is the opposite. Yeah. So that's the idea of the information that I can take out from. I've already plotted the distributions of where the maximum, the min happen in a certain time frame, and now I want to know what level do we hit at that time frame. So that's what I want to do. What I wanted to do. Okay. All right. Let me take a screenshot of this for tweeting purposes. Okay. So let's keep an eye on what's happening here. I move the screen. And we're going to use AI to prototype this, to work on this. So we're going to use the world famous O1 model from OpenAI, ChatGPT. So I have a function that does this, which is called, I've done quite some work on so let's ask ChatGPT to do this. Have a look at this source code. Right, that comes later. It didn't copy it. Very nice. I'll move it here. Have a look at this source code. the power copy. I'm here. That's it. Oh my God. Okay, let's write a new a cloned implementation of analyzer stream timing. And name it. We name it this analyze. We name it analyze reversal levels. Analyze reversal levels. The computation is similar to the one in the original function, but this time we want to plot 3 bar charts of curves that should represent the following. How many times in that specific 5-minute bar, in how many times in every specific 5-minute bar we did hit the high, low, extreme of the period to the 6, and also went above the Q1 manipulation level, but not median manipulation. Another line should be how many times in every specific minute bar we did hit the lowest stream of the period, and also went above the median manipulation level, but not above Q3. And a third bar chart or line should be how many times in a specific minute bar we did hit the high lowest stream of the period, and also went above the Q3 level of manipulation. Okay, so let's write a clone implementation of extreme timing, call it analyze reversal levels. Similar, but we want to measure how many times in every specific 5-minute bar plot we did hit the high lowest stream of the period, but also went above Q1 but not above. Another line hits the median but not Q3, and another line above Q3. And okay, this should show if there's any statistical relevance to gauge bias based on which level of manipulation is hit at which time. Please write the function. Generate the plotly report. Okay, some of this I might need to cut because it's, I understand, incredibly boring to watch. But you've seen a coder at work in the new age of AI. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what it gives me, and let's see if we can run it, and let's see if it's going to make sense. So, thinking, it's tracking the criteria. I've been having this symbiotic relationship with both ChatGPT, Cloud Sonnet, and Cursor, tools I've been using, and Python data science libraries to do this statistical analysis of financial data, candlesticks to be precise, and it's thinking. I gave it a lot to think. Let's see if it can plot something useful. Calculating the spread of the movement, crafting the figure. Okay, it's figured out what I asked. He's aligning the logic. And we need to resume. Okay, it thought for 1 minute. Okay, and so this should be the function that we need to add to my source code to do what I asked. Let's see. Analyze the timing of extreme points. Exactly. How many times the extremes went beyond Q1 but not median, beyond median but not Q3, and beyond Q3. We count these occurrences per 5-minute bar from 2 to 6 a.m. He understood exactly what I wanted. Very good. Okay. Okay, very good, very good. It's still writing. I make him work hard. Let's go to the place where I want to place it. Analyze extreme timings. All right. So I'm going to insert it here. And now it's generating a Plotly chart. And this is very nice. Very nice. All work I don't have to do. Now, obviously, most likely it's not going to work at first shot, but we are going to then debug it with Cloud Sonnet and Cursor, and this is going to work. Okay, so we identify for that, determine various compute levels, categorize the streams, and Plotly. Okay, I am 49 labels. All right, let's see. First thing I want to do is just paste it. Just quickly review what it goes. Okay, so I go through the 2 to 5 things, and we pass the manipulation. So he wrote a function, and then he has to tell me how to invoke it, but maybe. Let me just save this, analyze reversal levels. Use this. Okay. Analyze reversal levels. Now this is just implementation. Now we need to invoke it into the main. So we go to extreme timings. Okay. We just add like this. How will we call it? Analyze reversal levels. Can you complete it? All right. And if I run this out, is it going to generate a file name also? Let's see. Reversal levels. Okay, good. So this let's run it, see what happens. So I want to run these are the times. Let's see if there's a syntax error there, or it just runs. Let's see, 31,000 candles that I mentioned in many videos. And okay, there was a bug. Let's see. One parameter, one positional argument. So in the function, we needed Q3 manipulation after median, which we don't have. So when we decide if I Q3 manipulation, okay. There you go. Thank you for alerting me of that. Okay, rerun. Okay. Running the script. Thinking. Trading scenarios. We will need to open up the generated report. See if it makes any sense. I'm very curious. To be honest, I'm very curious. Meanwhile, at 30, price is still not moving. 835. Boring. I need to edit this. Otherwise, nobody's going to watch this. Okay. All right. There's another bug. What does it say? Unhashable. Okay, let's see if we can ask the AI to debug this. Please fix the except type error. Okay. It found 2 bugs, apparently. Oh, very well, very nice. Okay. And there is... Did I invoke it properly? Bad? Here, I was not invoking it properly. Sad. Okay, let's see if this rerun fixes the problem. Did it generate it? Reversal levels. Yo! Why doesn't it show in here? I don't know what's happening. Ah, here, it's here. Okay, okay. Yo. Okay, it did something weird with the label, but okay, let me remove the volume. Where's the music? Sorry about the music. Okay, okay. Yo. Okay. This is provided we need to double check if it's accurate, of course, but what does this tell us? That when the extreme is at, I don't remember if that scenario I enforced that it had to eat Q1. I don't remember because I have 2 scenarios for this. I have 2 scenarios for this script that finds the extremes. One had the requirement that he had to hit Q1 and one it didn't. So I need to double check. But you can see that so the median hit reduces, then increases to 220 and overtakes the Q1. So the longer time you wait, and you know, if you think this is all logic, right? How much can you retrace in the first few minutes of the 4-hour candle? Not a lot. So if you give it a bit more time, it is likely that it's possible that the retracement is wider. But this is still very interesting, right? Because maybe you can see it better now. So what do we care? What do we care? So 3 a.m. there's a spike of the extremes tend to pile up, and a lot of it is, so there's actually the same number 305, the amount of, oh, this is the number we want, right? So we can do some clustering. So for example, we could cluster between 2 and 255, between 2 to 3, and say if by 255 we have not hit Q1. See, that's why I need the stat about the opposite direction, because you might be not hitting between 2 and 3, a certain manipulation level, because the bias is either it starts without retracing, but that we know that happens less than 25% of the times, or you're hitting the opposite. This is also interesting. The Q3 hit drops. So the highest possible moment where you can even hit the Q3 manipulation level is always at 3. Then it slowly decreases. But wait. Look, there's a big difference between hitting Q1 12 times and hitting Q3 at 330. So that's what we care. So we care that if the low of the session is put in at 2, it hits Q and that's it. Sometimes it manages to hit the median and that's it. Very rarely it hits Q3, but that means the candle is very small. Right, that makes sense. So, and then at one point, the 255 is not very, it's not something that people, then there's this big push between 3 and 305 that does the actual manipulation at 3. And all 3, it could be anything. So it could reach for any of these 3 levels before reverting. And then slowly, so if you have a reversal at 325, which happens but less than 3, then the probabilities are that we hit Q3 are much higher than Q1. Wow, that's very interesting. So 320 still can hit Q1, but then from 325 till 350, if the reversal happens, then we hit Q3. But in a way, if you think about it, it's quite logic. If it is a manipulation, you give it more time, it will expand in opposite side longer. No, but to have a choice. So to use this as a bias is at 330 we hit Q3, so we go above Q3. Now I'm thinking if you should change the rule to do not breach Q3, be between median and Q3, if that would change things, right? Very interesting. So this was one of the calculations I want to make. The other one is the adversarial computation of this, and so this makes the assumption that the candle will reverse, right? So we will hit the extreme of the manipulation at a certain time, measure that time, and did we hit median or okay? So 140 times, 41, 12, 65, 38. They're all going down. They go up a little bit at 220. Q3 reduces, and then Q3 spikes at 3. So what conclusions can we draw from this? Actually, there is something you can draw from this. Let's see. So what conclusion can we draw from this? That the more time it passes after 2, the more the manipulation is going to move towards the median. Q3, we shouldn't consider Q3 between 3 a.m. So that's the conclusion, right? Do not expect Q3 before 3 a.m. Right? That's one of the conclusions. (2 a.m. Q1 touch is very prevalent, right? And then it is, the longer we go, let's say after 320, seems to me that after 320, so if it reverses after 320, reversal hits past Q3. So this is what I can see from this chart, right? So relevant for entries in 2 to 6. Right, so that's what I get from this, right? All right, let's see if I can make it bigger. I just want to take this screenshot, make this big, tweet about it. Okay, so that's very annoying. Time. All right. Let's see if this is interesting. Okay. Okay, well, I would say I'll cut the video here. This is an interesting statistical result. So for the 2 to 6 a.m. candle, it's a very interesting statistical realization for the bias of the 2 to 6 a.m. candle. And that is, okay, if you're correct that the low of the session is at 2 a.m., then most likely you don't expect more than a Q1 touch. And then as we proceed, we hit 220 to 30. It could be the median. Then from 3 onwards, all of them are possible. But if you go past 325, actually up past 330, then the probability that we reverse from the Q3 is higher, much higher than the rest. And of course, it happens less. So a statistical relevant thing, I think, is if you are between 3 and 330, you can usually expect the reversal to hit the median, or Q3, or Q1 if it's a 3, otherwise the probability of Q1 drops. And then after 330, you see these levels reduce. Then you should not expect a reversal from a Q1 touch. So then the bias becomes much clearer. So how can we use this as a bias machine? So how can we use this as a bias machine? Let's see. $320. So we can use this as a bias machine, because if you are at 330 and you see a reversal, but it only touched Q1, it's not a reversal. That's going to be only 12 times out of the many hundreds. So after 330, so that's another conclusion we can draw. Doesn't want to do it, huh? What if I send this to the back? Write it here. So as we were saying, after after 320, yeah. So after 220, hitting Q1 is not a sign of reversal. You most likely need Q3. I need to reflect on this data, but it's very interesting. I will say goodbye now, because because this could be the screenshot to convince you to click on this. And I say goodbye to you, and now it's time to go trading the AM session. Thank you for watching. Ready for the jump? Drop. There you go. Bye.